Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Space Engineers. I am your host, Quantum Tater. Quantum Tater, say hello. Hey, last time on Space Engineers, we got ourselves a little bit of a rover started. Not too bad. You can see it out the window right there. And I did a little bit of off-screen work. Let's go ahead and knock this down. We'll do 6-7 to close those doors up and get ourselves some air tightness. Nope. Don't look at that. Nobody saw anything. Uh, yeah, last time we definitely got some work done. Not as much as I'd wanted to, but that's okay. So we're going to cut to, right about now, we're going to cut to me working sort of time lapsing, getting the rover into a better position. We'll cut to that right now. Okay, and in the comments, Chad is kind of. I agree, man. He commented that saying that like he's developing a dislike for the radiation, and honestly, I feel the same, man. It does take away because you spend more time worrying about being irradiated, and that takes forever to de-irradiate and all that stuff, and it just becomes a huge hassle. So, um, yeah, I agree. The Apex, I do like the Apex update so far, and I do think it's frustrating. Um, I do think it's frustrating that some of the bits with regards to that stuff. I don't disagree with that. So this is where the rover's at. Um, who was it that John said that instead of a dual cockpit, what if we put in a God, this windstorm is brutal. What if we put in another interior turret? And I actually kind of like that idea. So we're gonna do that. Might actually, could I fit a whole? No, I'm not fully done setting this thing up. There you go, rocket launcher. Who doesn't need one of those? One of those? Huh? I could do a Gatling turret. Just plop that down right there. I'm not going to, but I could. Nah, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think this is the move. I think an interior turret is the right choice. So, let's grab one of these guys here. Oh, you can't. Interior turrets don't exist for small grid. Huh. Did I not know that? I guess I didn't know that. Oh. Okay, well maybe Gatling turret is the answer. Go ahead and pop that guy right. I guess we're gonna go turretless for right now. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go turretless for the time being because we don't need the two. I did manage to get the my landing gear system working the way I wanted it to. That's kind of the thing. So that's the walk around. Like we put some covers on each of these guys here so that we could very easily access the cargo, but also not have an open port. I think that looks kind of clean. I got myself some antenna. I've decided to call this the hauler because I thought that was funny. Um, yeah, got a nice set of spare wheels up front to give it that. Looks like honestly it's wearing earmuffs, but that's okay. That wasn't the intent, but it's working out that way. So earmuffs it is, I guess. And then I think I was gonna put a couple of barrels down here. I thought I could, but it doesn't look like they'll fit right there. And I don't know if they will or not. So let's see if it will. If it will, it'll fit right there for some reason, but not. That's really strange. Why does it fit there but not there? Let's see. Grab that, do that. We're gonna drive around and see what that looks like. So here's what we need to do. While we're doing things, we're gonna go ahead and undock. We've got ourselves 2 days of power plus a hydrogen system that can run it. What I'm thinking, what we need to do. So here's what I need. So this is kind of where this is at. We're just gonna leave it here for now. Um, I did do a one quick test drive. You'll see that in the time lapse. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be exactly what I want. But right now, this will do the trick. Two close set wheels for turning, and then two to carry the load in the back. Got ourselves a ladder so we can very easily climb up and get onto the truck. Um, so we can recharge. This is almost close enough that I could get to the cockpit. I can't. I can't walk around either. But that's okay. It's not really the point of it. That's just kind of where we're at. What we need to do, what we're going to do now, is we're going to go set up. I need to go set up a few. drills over there because I believe we're running out of iron. So I need to set up a few drills. We're going to get the stuff to lay down a couple of these guys. And go ahead and pop this scope in here. Stuff that in there. Right there. Stuff that in there. Perfect. And then let's do one more. Let's do one more for the sake of having it. We're going to go get that unknown signal. We might even take this truck to get that unknown signal. What I want to do is I want to get at least one iron drill up so that we're getting some iron done. That's going to be kind of that plan. And then I'm going to start building. We got to start setting up the farm. And I'm going to set it up over there. I like the idea of what Lord Chaos had mentioned, building it inside the cliff face. Not on this side. We're going to build it in that cliff face right there. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm excited about that idea. Let's go here. We're gonna access this, get that recharged. I think it already was fully charged. And yeah, we're gonna get underway. So let's go get us an unknown signal and give this thing a little bit of a test. I did get the system working out for the locking system for the gear. So we deploy. That puts down our kickstands. They slowly deploy. They get us locked down. And they'll lift the thing off the ground and keep it in place. Great for repairs. I just wanted to do it. Great for a lot of things. I don't know if it's just for repairs, if it would be good for all the things. If we share inertial tensor, we get some of that knocked off. And then we have a retract. Press that. They retract and we can get underway. So yeah, I did that. I've got the atmospherics are definitely on a group, so we can turn those on and off. They're currently turned off because I don't think we need them. Yeah. See if we can't get this thing uphill and see if we can't go get all this stuff. The truck is 47 tons, and I don't know what that is in comparison to the empty vehicle of the Anchor, but I think this will do better in a lot of different ways. So in theory, what I could do is I could park here, and if these weren't stopping it, I could quickly deploy and then use this to use it to do what we're doing. Dang it. Let's see what we got. Come on. Hey, a mushroom seed. We definitely don't have any of those. Let's get that in there. And because even with this, we should be able to get this all the way up, which is kind of the plan. We can dump the components in there. And then, yeah, I find this to be very useful. It does make it hard to get into the cockpit, but that's okay because we can immediately dump this down. And then we should be pretty able to navigate. This thing is, I think, pretty robust. I've got to do some extra groovling on each side. I haven't finished all of it, but I think it should be pretty good as far as stability. Oh, let's not get too crazy. Just because we're fairly stable doesn't mean we should go crazy. There we go. Just driving down. There we go. Perfect. Like a glove. This thing should handle really well. I do have lights. We've got tons of headlights. Should definitely light up the night sky. We got that over there. I'm liking a lot of it. I didn't know that there wasn't a small grid interior turret. So what we're going to do, we're going to drive over to the iron mine, which you would have seen me do in the time lapse unless I cut that out. I'm going to set up a mine really quick, and then that way we're getting some iron production because we don't currently have any coming in, and I noticed we were running out. So what I'm going to do is get an iron mine laid down, and then yeah, once we have that done, we'll start laying out the food thing. So I will pick you up once I get this thing built and set down. Alrighty, we got that going. We got the one drill. That's what I'm doing is I'm clearing. My plan here is I got this clearing downwards. My idea is to flatten this out. I'm gonna need to remove that drill at some point to go down the rest of the way, but my plan is to kind of get this a little flatter. And then I'm going to make the pit the way I want to, but we're not doing that this round, so we're going to let that build up. We're going to go get this unknown signal, wherever it may be. It looks like it's this way. Oh, also, Clyde had mentioned that it feels like I was building this to withstand a nuclear blast based on how thick the bottom is, but it's because I wanted the wheels the way I did. He also recommended the 4x4. I agree, instead of doing the 3 wheels on each side, doing 4. Otherwise, it's kind of messed up. And then he said something about dual cockpits. I think it looked better with one block separating them. Frame in front of cargo could be used as shortened. Oh, I could shorten. I got you. I could shorten the distance from cockpit to the front of the cargo. Do that, and then he was like, basically, do what you want. He copied engineered coffee for his design for his rover, which has got some great designs. He's an incredible builder and engineer. Um, so far, we've not needed to use our engines, which tells me that the weight per whatever this thing is definitely good. I'm happy about that because I was struggling. The other one struggled to go anywhere, but it's all heavy blocks. So we're gonna get ourselves this unknown signal. I will pick you up once I get there, and we'll see what we got. And if I see any vegetables or fruit on the way, I might grab those too. All right. What do we get? I didn't find anything special. I'm shocked. The windstorm is grade A. Some magnesium, very little. Now, if you're wondering, which you're probably not, but if you were wondering how I managed to get the piston system to work, basically using 2 timer blocks, 2 event controllers, and what I've effectively got it doing is 1 timer block. One timer block. One timer block activates turns everything on, sends the pistons and everything down, and then turns on an event controller, which basically says when ready to lock mag plates. The other timer block does all the same thing and turns off that event controller so that if the mag plate touches my rover in any location, that it'll effectively make sure that it doesn't that was a mushroom back there. Make sure that it doesn't lock to itself, because I was having issues where the event controller would immediately lock them down before I could even do anything, and that was getting kind of obnoxious. So what we can do, and I had this idea. I've already got some redesigns in my head, so we're gonna probably do that. Stick you in there, stick you in there. I don't have any food on me, which is not my best move, but that's okay. I got some health kits, which is good. Yeah, I'm thinking a turret right there is what's going to be. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to get over to where we're going to be setting up the wonderful... we're going to head towards the roots, and we're going to grab some blocks, and we're going to get setting up the farm. That's the next step. The farm's the next thing we got to get done. That's my plan. So I'm going to need at least 1 drill is my thoughts, as well as some other things. So we're going to kind of get those things underway. And then, of course, we can always take out the B.O.R.E, which should have plenty of charge by now. we can take the boar out and we can send him to go pick up the nickel rocks and other things that we had found on the way to this location. Is kind of my thoughts. I don't have any plans to set down like a nickel mine and similar to the way I'm doing the iron mine. I don't plan to do that. Um, I'm also thinking that the iron mine will basically become a refinery system. Oh crap. We're cool, we're cool. No big deal. Um, basically become a refinery system and it will not be a system, it won't have any manufacturing possibilities. So we'll have to transport resources to wherever we decide to do manufacturing. That's kind of my thought. I haven't fully flushed it out, but I think that's it. We're going to stop and get some extra iron because we're going to need it. So I might as well get it while we're on our way back. And then I will get you as soon as we get back to the base and get some materials to do some building. Chad also mentioned that Chad also mentioned that it's like Google search would indicate that 3x3 wheels are considered to be the best overall choice for traction power and power efficiency. Um, that's crazy. I didn't know that there was a. I mean, I guess it makes a little bit of sense. Um, I had no idea. We're gonna grab. We're gonna grab quite a few things. We're gonna do that for now. I think this will be a good start. We're gonna have to do a little bit of mining, and hopefully we're gonna see what. We're gonna see what we got going on. Look at that. I can turn pretty hard. I'm pretty excited about that. I think this thing works pretty good. All right, we're gonna come over here. All right. Let's just go ahead and pop open both of these guys here. Um, let's see. North. Which way is that's north? It's west. So that's true north right there. True north. All right. Oh, this isn't the place. I don't know what I'm doing. Ignore me. This cliff over here. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I decided that was the place. My brain stopped working for a minute. That's going to be a magnesium base if we decide to expand further to be a magnesium drill and munitions manufacturing. Was what I was thinking. So, all right. Let's see. We're going to so if we do west is directly this way. And we go 9. Let's do 7. We're directly west. All right, let's build out a platform and see what's what. I think we're gonna need some of these guys. Which one of these do the lines? There we go. This guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Okay. And I'll explain why I'm doing that here in a second. And then Okay, and then what do we got? We need probably ramps somewhere, I imagine. Let's get the rover, see how we do with that. Okay, we're gonna do one of these, this guy here, okay. This is our defining line, so we're just gonna get this kind of welded out. Not for any particular reason, I'm not trying to do anything special. I just want to be able to get, because what we have here, if we take this vehicle and we back it up, its cargo connection spot is right, oh, that's hard to see. Right about there. So we will need to be able to get this thing to have we would have what do you call under it? Probably a thing. So what I could do, moving that forward a little bit, is this an odd number of blocks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. So 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Oh shit. Why is this not drilling down? That's very frustrating. Ah, dang it. It's okay, I'm a professional. Nothing to see here. 7. Oh, this isn't going to work. That actually works out in our favor because we need to do this right here. Okay. Back this thing back up onto the thing. Wop, 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 wop. I'm on. Get out there, then we just go right over the top of it. Perfect. What I need to do is potentially put a bob on this, but I don't really know that I want to, so we're gonna not do that. All right, back to time lapse. Boy, no thanks. That's not what I wanted. Energy low. Do I have a med? Do I have a med pack on me? I don't. I do not have a med pack. Wait, I do. Yeah, go ahead and pop one of those. That should heal me up just fine. Alright, so here's what I got. Me not being able to do anything. I got this thing. I'm going to run back to the base really quick and get those small steel tubes, as you've seen me do a couple of times. This is just to get this rover, or any rover, well, not any rover, this specific rover is going to be docked up. This is my first thought. My first thing to do. So what I'm thinking is when... It's going to be hard to do because basically what I'm going to need is for this thing to go up. Let's say this thing goes up to... Okay, and then this thing needs to be set to be vertical. It needs to be set to what? 84 maybe? So if we take a look at that, and then this lower limit, this thing needs to basically be, we're going to call this -3 is the lowest it can go. We'll reverse it all the way. And then upper limit's going to have to be like 5, I think. So let's go ahead and get out of the dang thing. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. So in theory, we should be... Nope, 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 nope. Hey, hey, come back here, come back here, come back here, please. Excuse me, sir. We're going to be right there is where it needs to be docked to. Go ahead and put that on. If we come under here, you know what we ought to do really quick. We ought to just go ahead and deploy. Get these things up. So where that's at, all right, and then this guy is going to need to be... Let's set this upper limit to 8 degrees. I don't know if that's gonna... I don't know. I think I'm doing this a really difficult way. What are we at? We're at currently 79, so we need to reverse. And then this thing's gonna have to be... Alright, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Let's go ahead and lock this guy up. This is unnecessary right now. We don't need this thing. So let's reverse. Reverse, reverse. Okay. Gonna do this thing. We're keep messing with this. So here we go. 10 degrees. Hey, 10 degrees is it. Ish. What if we pull forward slightly? Okay, so 10 degrees for that guy. And this needs to be, we'll call this lower limit, 81 degrees. And so that, boom, that's that we locked this guy down. Now what we need is to get on home key. We're gonna need a button panel. Do I have a button panel anywhere of the sorts? I don't think I do. So just for quick measure, quick measure, quick measure. Button panel, put that there. Grab the materials out of that. So now if we do hinge, we should be able to rename both of these. I thought I had a naming script thing. I thought I enabled one, but I guess I did not. Call this farm hinge. Okay, so now, if the maximum, this is currently set, oh my gosh, so dark. This is currently set to what? This is set to 81 degrees, and that gets it locked to that. So the lowest angle should be 80, and the reverse angle should be 90 so that it can tuck in. This guy is currently set to 10 degrees, so the upper limit should be 10 degrees. The lower limit needs to be, we're going to say 0. Now in theory, if I come over here and I say this is going to be hinges and we're just going to do reverse. Nope. We're just going to do reverse. And I press that button. That should bring them both down. It's at 2 degrees. This should be 81. So should this be, no, lower limit should be, okay, so now if that's set to 3, we come over here and we press the button. And that should stop at 81, which it did. That should stop at 10. I think we could probably get a little lower than that, but I think that's good. So then I just bop. Bada boom, bada bing, that goes down. We don't dock. We drive away in happiness. We go back to the base and we sleep really quick. And that's one part of the problem done. Now this thing should be able to dock up to this base. Yay! That's step one. We're gonna have to dig holes into the mountain and stuff. This is gonna be a whole. It's gonna be a whole thing. Not to use the word hole lightly. Um, that is not my intent, but it does appear that we're gonna need to do some work um, getting that stuff done. And I think that's what we're gonna call it for right now. We've got a little bit of a rover. We got some start. I need to do some stuff. I need to do some housekeeping stuff, honestly. Maybe it just depends on how much of this we can do from the standpoint of well, that should be able to process that ore. Um, we would definitely need to take that platform. We could utilize that platform on this guy here to potentially make um to potentially like make a dock for this rover at both stations, but we're not going to do that. I don't think we're going to do that anyways. Come on, open up. Please open up. No. All right. Dump some stuff in there. More spider meat we don't need. Go ahead and get the heels on. We'll sleep the night away. And then I'm just going to cart some stuff over there really quick. All right, it's daytime. Daytime, nighttime. Now that we have where our farm's going to get going, I kind of want to see, actually, you know what we should see? Let's see if this guy here is charged even a little bit. So if we go off charge, what do we got? We got an hour of power. Oh yeah, this thing's actually flyable. That's incredible for so many reasons. It's been so terrible not being able to. 20 minutes. Okay, we don't have a ton of power, but that's okay because what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. Oh, we are zoomed out on this guy really far. We're going to come over here and we are going to drop to the ground and then we're just going to start mining. We're going to blow that up because that's what we meant to do. Cool, that one too. All right, I can't wait to break the other one. Boy. Let's see, how bad did that mess everything up? Oh my gosh, get out of the hole. Not too bad, we still have all that. It just could have potentially been bad. I'm glad we didn't break everything entirely. That would have been stupid and I'd be very mad right now. Not that I'm not a little mad, but at least the super dumb hasn't happened. We're gonna get a hole going this way. We are gonna, like Lord Chaos said, I think we're gonna have this idea of like this going up into the mountainside. Pretty excited about that. So that's gonna take some drilling. I think I'm gonna get this drilled out in a way and kind of lay out some blocks. I might do this off screen so that you guys can see kind of the vision for that, and then we'll kind of go from there. That's it. That's the base. That's the rover. This is a weird episode. I feel like I'm truncating because I had to do a lot of building on that rover, and so we didn't get a whole lot of stuff started on this guy. But I think we're in the right direction, which is fun. There we go. Got the first effective version of this thing. I'm actually quite impressed that that worked as well as it did. That's great news. That's really great news. All right, let's see. What do we got? not going to be able to do the things I want to do. That's it. We did a successful bore drilling, a little bit of drilling. We got the start of our farm. Um, this guy over here is something we're doing. I think I'm just going to have to put a full-size turret here. We're guessing it's going to be a Gatlin turret here, unless I rework it. Honestly, with Chad's advice to go to a 3x3 wheel, maybe I just need to redo a 3x3 rover. I don't know. Guys, there's so many things I want to get done, and I feel like I don't want to have these crazy long episodes, and I feel like that's all I've been doing lately is crazy long episodes. I can't even wave. Um, let's blame it on recovery brain. I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do some off-screen work, getting some holes drilled and stuff like that for the farm, and then we'll do a tour of that. I'm not gonna weld anything up, but we're gonna get a tour of that done and see what you guys think. That's my plan. And I might add a self-maintenance unit to the root space on the underside, I think. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this, you know what to do. I appreciate everybody. Love the comments. I'm going to try to stay sane, and let's keep these short. Anyways, I will catch you later, taters, and as always, be kind and stay ornery. Bye.